508 here on your Friday morning. Happy homecoming. It's nice to see that, we're able to get back to our regularly scheduled program. But we definitely want to keep everybody still in our thoughts and prayers who have to rebuild.
Yes.
People who are, have lost family members. It's really impacting a lot of people.
It is. I mean, the destruction is just, it's hard to see, and it's still not done. We still have Charleston to now worry about.
Yes, Ian's going to make landfall again today as a hurricane, where we're looking live in Charleston this morning. This is from the Mount Pleasant side of the bridge there, looking across the harbor and towards Charleston. And if you can look pretty closely, you can see rain there in the foreground as it is now raining in Charleston, and it's not going to stop for several hours. And as Wanya's been talking about for the past few mornings, Charleston floods on a sunny day. Whenever you get high tide, that's how much water they really can't handle there across the low country in South Carolina. So here's the latest on Ian. Winds of 85 miles an hour. It has regained hurricane status. You might remember yesterday morning we were talking about it weakening to a tropical storm right before it was to come off the shore there in Florida. Well, the warm waters of the Atlantic has brought it back up to Category 1 hurricane status. The plan is for it to move inland sometime after 2 o'clock today. This icon will be 2 o'clock today, and then over the South Carolina, North Carolina state line early tomorrow morning as it weakens and lets all of its rain go essentially over at North and South Carolina. So dry here in central Georgia this morning. Any clouds you see, that's the far western extent of Ian. You look across the South Carolina state line there, and obviously you see some rainfall. So as this thing begins to turn into South Carolina now, we're going to be watching this rain band to see if it could get into some of our eastern counties before all is said and done today. But still this morning, I mean, really the eastern 2/3 of North Carolina locked into the rain, and the eastern half there of South Carolina seeing the rain as well. Temperatures in the 60s thanks to the cloud cover we had through the overnight hours. 65 in Macon, 64 in Forsyth, 64 in Roberta. When we have that cloud cover, it acts as a blanket. We can't get as cool as we got the past few mornings. We do also have a wind advisory in effect today, mainly east of Interstate 75 from Eatonton to Milledgeville down through Twiggs, Cochran, Eastman, McRae, and all of the areas to the east. Gusts up to about 40 miles an hour once again. Yesterday we had several hundred people lose power here in central Georgia thanks to fallen trees. I know a few in Warner Robins, one in Cochran, there in Montezuma, and in Forsyth as well, just to name a few. The reason why it's so windy here in central Georgia, well, the high pressure and the hurricane down towards the south essentially creates a funnel of wind in between them, and that's where we find ourselves. So as the hurricane continues to move north, and that's going to get just a bit stronger through the day today, and then as it weakens, then the gradient weakens and the winds are not going to be quite as strong. Still, as we head through the day today, much of the state of South Carolina in a tropical storm warning, also right along the Savannah River, down along the coast there for Georgia and into North Carolina. This pink here is the hurricane warning. We'll have to watch to see how that takes shape through the day today. Again, there are a few cities that are included in that. And this tropical storm warning goes all the way into Greensboro, North Carolina, almost 200 miles inland. Here in central Georgia, looking for temperatures in the 60s into the 70s by the time we get to the afternoon hours. Notice this rain does get close to Hancock, Washington, Johnson counties. If this thing takes any wobble back towards the west, then you get in on the rain action there. As of now, this model is stopping it quite literally right at the county line there and keeping it over towards the Augusta area. Regardless, whatever happens, we clear out tomorrow morning, and we're looking for temperatures in the low 50s and 40s. A perfect Saturday here in central Georgia, and Sunday is going to be much better as well. Notice the GFS and the Euro bleeding the county line a little bit there in terms of the rainfall, but as soon as that storm gets up towards the north, which would be tomorrow by about noon, we are in the clear and smooth sailing here in the central part of the state. Still looking for wind gusts over 40 miles an hour there in our eastern counties. That's the GFS. The Euro showing much of the same there. Anytime you get over that purplish pink color, that's when you get over 40. So as we head into the day today, look for a high temperature of about 73. Windy again, a rain chance over towards the east. The weekend forecast 80 tomorrow, 78 for Sunday. Sunny both days after morning lows are in the 50s. And pretty nice next week as well as we sail on into the fair, which begins next Thursday. High temperature of 82.